One day Joel Embiid is about to troll the wrong person and just get knocked out for it. Like, I have never seen a player talk so much trash after they lose. Alright, so the Detroit Pistons defeated the Philadelphia 76ers last night in one of the most intense games of the season so far. And take a listen to what Joel Embiid had to say after that game in regards to Andre Drummond.
You know, going by what the referees were saying the whole game, you know, there was a lot of cheap shots taken. And, you know, at one point I think Tyler said that the next, you know, chip shot he's going to get, next one he's going to get the technical foul. And that's why he got the technical foul. All I was doing was just talking and playing basketball and, you know, trying to win the game. And obviously on the second one, you know, I think you could see that he hit me and his hand actually touched my face. So that's his problem, you know. But like I said, I feel like I own a lot of real estate in his head.
How does he react? Like, when you say you own a lot of real estate in his head, like, you just frustrate him, you think? Or like
yeah,
out there?
Clearly, I mean, when you look at his stat sheet, you could, I guess you could say it, but then again, that's a tough loss. We got to rebound tomorrow.
Now, take a look at the clip that Joel Embiid is referring to that Andre Drummond got ejected on.
Embiid in front, soft hook, hits it. We're going to get an Andre foul here.
And look at Joel Embiid. He's doing the same thing he did in Philadelphia last year. Late in the game.
Take another look at the clip.
Oh.
Take another look at the clip.
Oh.
And another one.
Oh.
And another one.
Oh.
And another one.
Oh.
And one more time.
Oh.
Actually, no, I lied. Play that back one more time.
His hand actually touched my face.
That should have been a flagrant 2 flop on Joel Embiid, and he should have gotten ejected for that. But my question to all of this is, how in the world did the referees eject Andre Drummond on that? Clearly, they didn't see what happened. Clearly, they didn't see anything. You know why I know that they didn't see anything? Because there was nothing to see. So they just saw Embiid flopping, flailing his arms around and falling to the ground, and assumed that Andre Drummond must have done something, so we're gonna toss him out the game. Look, the ref should be fine for that too. And by the way, kudos to Andre Drummond for taking it so well. I know a lot of players would have been extremely upset and caused a big scene on their way out, but he was like, you know what? Mine, I'm out of here. But Andre Drummond did respond to Joel Embiid saying that he's in Andre Drummond's head later on Twitter by saying, LOL, does he? If that's so that he wouldn't be so excited to have me off the floor. Think about it. That's a silly statement. I'll take the W though. Enjoy your flight home. Hashtag Emmy Award winning actor. Seriously though, who flops to try and get their competition out of the game? That's like knowing that you're going to lose a race to someone, so in order to win, you get that person disqualified, or even worse, you trip them right before the finish line. So Rajon Rondo, after being accused of spitting on Chris Paul, as well as video evidence surfacing showing that he very well might have spat on Chris Paul, since we did see spit coming out of his mouth towards Chris Paul's face, is now trying to convince everybody that Chris Paul is the nice guy that we all think that he is, and that he's a horrible teammate, as he said this yesterday. This is the only time that I'm going to address this. I had a mouthpiece in my mouth and I exasperated because I was about to tell him to get out of here. Look at my body language in the video, my hands and my hips. I turn away for a second. Look at Eric and Melo in the video. If they saw me spit, they would have turned their face up or something. They had no reaction. Of course, the NBA won with his side because I got 3 games and he got 2. Everyone wants to believe that Chris Paul is a good guy. They don't know that he's a horrible teammate. They don't know how he treats people. Look at what he did last year when he was in LA, trying to get to the Clippers locker room. They don't want to believe that he's capable of taunting or igniting an incident. While Chris Paul, on the other hand, had this to say about the incident.
Somebody spit on you, you know, to play this long, and that has never happened, but it is what it is. Fellas got to get ready for Utah tomorrow.
Now, there very well could be some truth around this whole Chris Paul not being a good guy or not being the best teammate thing. Who remembers back when Chris Paul was with the Los Angeles Clippers and we were getting reports out saying that DeAndre Jordan didn't really like Chris Paul as a teammate. That was one of the main reasons that he was going to leave the Clippers for the first time, because he didn't like how Chris Paul was treating him. And then when Trevor Ariza left the Rockets over the summer this year, we got reports of him saying that he didn't like the atmosphere in Houston. He didn't like how the star players were treated and were treating other people basically like they were just expendable. And then Chris Broussard just went on the air this morning and talked about all of this. And he said that he called up ex-Clippers players, ex-Clippers management, anyone that had to do with anything in the Clippers, and asked them if what Rajon Rondo was saying was true, and they verified that Chris Paul isn't a good teammate.
I spoke or texted with a Clippers executive yesterday and asked them, is Rondo right? What do you think about his comments about Chris Paul being a bad teammate? He said he was right.
And then Glenn Big Baby Davis, who has played with both Rondo and CP3, went public with his statement saying that Chris Paul isn't a good teammate. As he said, I played with both of them. CP3 is a very bad teammate. So yeah, I guess there is some truth to all of this. Maybe Chris Paul isn't the best teammate like we all thought he was. Now, that's not to say that he's a bad player. He doesn't do his best with the team, because he does. He has a leadership role though, and he might not be the most compassionate leader. But still, this isn't an excuse for Rondo to spit on CP3, especially since Rondo hasn't always been the best teammate himself. So Blake Griffin this year is on a mission to prove that he is still among the NBA's elite, after he was written off for the past couple of years, with people saying that he's washed up or overrated now, not even a top 20 player in the league anymore. 2K ranking Jason Tatum higher than him. Man feels disrespected, and he's not hiding the fact that he feels disrespected either, as after he dropped 50 points in the Pistons win against the Sixers yesterday, this is what he had to say. You know, for the past 2-3 years, all you hear about is how bad I am and how I've been hurt, I've had bad games, but we talked about it. This summer, being able to work out for the first time in 3 summers is huge, you know. The last 3 summers, I was fighting and working as hard as I could to get healthy and be able to play. And this summer, I was really able to put time in and work on my game, work on my body, and I've always been a big believer in hard work pays off. Hard work and the right coaching sure does help. Stan Van Gundy last year was using Blake Griffin in the worst possible way after he was traded to Detroit. It's like he wanted him to become just a spot-up shooter from distance. It was ugly. It wasn't good at all. But this year, Dwayne Casey so far has just been letting Blake Griffin do what he does best, run the offense and play bully ball down low. And then a defensive sag off him enough, punish him with his new and improved 3-point shooting. So Blake Griffin is far more than just a one-dimensional player and athlete, people. He's not a guy who, just because he can't jump quite as high as he used to, that means that he isn't as good as he used to be. He doesn't need to posterize people to be good. He also has a very fundamentally sound game and an extremely high basketball IQ. So his hot start to the season is not a coincidence at all. He's been good for a while now. He's just not cursed by the Clippers and the Kardashians anymore, so we can all finally see it. So Nikola Mirotic finally cooled off. Went 0 of 6 from 3 yesterday, still finished with 18 points and 12 rebounds though, and the Pelicans still beat the Clippers 116-109. New Orleans is now 3-0 on the year, their best start to the season that they've had since 2010, and Anthony Davis is still playing at an all-time great level as well. 34 points, 13 rebounds, 5 blocks. This man very well could win MVP and Defensive Player of the Year this year. And the Denver Nuggets remain undefeated as well. It's looking like they're going to be a really good team this season. Not a fringe playoff team, but a team that solidifies themselves for the playoffs in the West early on. That's what it's looking like for now, at least. But I do have to say that the Kings last night became the first team this season to score over 100 points against this new and improved Denver Nuggets defense. But still, 126-112 was the final score. Nikola Jokic with 14 points to go along with 12 rebounds and 6 assists. And that is going to bring us to today's Player of the Day, where you guys have the opportunity to vote for who you think was the best player in the NBA last night by clicking the little eye icon in the top right hand corner of the video. Just remember though, the only players whose team won are eligible to win Player of the Day. And yesterday, that player was none other than DeMar DeRozan, and his 32 points, 14 assists, and 8 rebounds. That does it for today's video though. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and smack that like button and subscribe to the channel as well with post notifications turned on so you can stay up to date with everything that goes on in the NBA on a daily basis. Thank you once again for watching though. You guys already know that you are the real MVPs, but until tomorrow, I'm out of here.